President of the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, Usman Umar Barambu, on Wednesday announced the suspension of the union's planned protest following the ruling of the National Industrial Court, which ordered that the 7-month strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, be suspended. This comes barely 10 hours after a statement by the NANS PRO, Giwa Temitope, said the courts, had ordered them to return to class.
Well, in a statement to its members, the NANS President said that since the court has directed that the strike be called off, their protest actions are called off, and therefore urged the federal government to fulfill its part of the negotiations by satisfying ASUU's demand. Meanwhile, the National Association of Nigerian Students has vowed to disrupt political campaigns billed to start later this month, that's on the 28th to be specific, in driving home their point for the federal government to end the ongoing strike.
Now let's bring in NANS Vice President Victor Izenagu. He is joining us in place of his principal, Usman Umar Barambu. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Victor.
Thank you.
Good morning. Talk to us about the planned protest by NANS and, of course, then the subsequent suspension of that protest. How did that decision come about?
Okay, it's not news again that we've been at home for almost 7 months as regards the strike, and the pressure from our own constituency is very high. That necessitated the idea of coming up with a nationwide protest that was scheduled to hold in the various zones, as we saw in Lagos, the Zone D of NANS. Now, after the court ruling asking our lecturers to return back to classes pending when the case will be finally determined, we deemed it wise that since the court has given order for our lecturers to return to lectures and classrooms, that we should suspend the planned actions in the respective zones to give room for peace and then national dialogue, while urging the federal government to keep to their own side of the bargain by ensuring that they meet up with ASUU demand. We also pleaded with ASUU to also shift ground in negotiations. Both parties are expected to shift ground so that there will be a meeting point, more like a middle point, where it will be a win-win thing. That's our stand, because we believe that while we're in school, whatever negotiation can continue, and we believe something positive will come out for both ASUU and federal government.
All right, your association has vowed to disrupt political campaigns built to start later this month, particularly on the 28th, just next week. What makes the difference? I mean, we've seen blockade of roads, Lagos, Ibadan, we've seen the airports and all that, but now political campaigns?
You see, when people or when an association is trying to drive home their agitation or bring to notice their agitation, a lot of things are involved. But we thank God for the ruling at the court, and that ruling for now has helped us to suspend whatever action we'll be doing or we plan to take. So for the now, all actions as regards to that suspended. Our focus now is to ensure that both FG and ASUU turn to negotiation, and that negotiation becomes fruitful, so that both our lecturers will be happy while going back to lectures to teachers, and there won't be a destruction of anything in the country. So that's our current stand. Thank you.
All right, great to hear from you. Of course, we will be following up and seeing how this turns out. ASUU, of course, has vowed to appeal that ruling, and the federal government says the negotiation table is still open. But we'll bring you back again as things unfold. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.